speaking with Joyce and Kieran. They're here from a film called 29+1, which has been nominated at our festival in Nice. Congratulations, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thanks,
welcome,
Steve.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, lovely to meet you both. If you could just introduce yourselves again and then just tell me your connection to this film.
Sure.
Okay, I'm Kieran Pang. I'm the screenwriter and also the director of the play, of the film.
Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah, actually, it's originated from my one-woman solo piece of work in theater. So I adapted it into a movie script, and now it becomes a movie.
Yeah. And hi everyone, I'm Joyce Chang from Hong Kong, and I am one of the actors in this film.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the film about?
Okay, shall I do the honors?
Hitting 30, presumably.
Hitting 30.
All right, yes, so this film, 29+1, it's about these two very, very different women. One is like a working girl, she works in an office, she's a senior marketing manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then everything in her life seems to be going very well. She's got a successful career going on, she has a long-term boyfriend, both her parents are alive.
Yeah.
And there's another girl, same birth date, and she lives a more carefree life. She's been working at the same record store for the past 10 years, has never had a boyfriend. She lives by herself, and they both need to face some hardships in their lives, and it parallels how they react to these different hardships according to their different personalities, and by...
Do their lives, I've seen, but I need you to tell, do their lives collide?
They do.
Yeah.
Right.
And by a chance, Christy, the character who's the office girl,
Yeah.
she ends up living in Wong Tin Lo, my character's
Joyce,
apartment.
yeah.
And she picks up my character's diary and starts reading it, and that's how she gets to know my character.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said this started off as a stage play first?
Yes.
And why did you write it? What happened, or where did it come from? Where did the idea come from originally?
Actually, I was a theater actress.
Right.
And I've been a full-time professional actor in a theater company for some years. And then I wanted to start to write my own script just for trial and to have something original. So by that time I was 29. So I want to write a story about a girl getting into 30. So to see what will happen. And then the story, it actually echoes with my experience in Paris, because I went to Paris in 2004, and I moved into a Taiwanese girl which I never met. And I read her books, I listened to her CDs, seems that I know her life, her story.
Without
character.
having to meet her.
Yes. So that stimulated me to write a story about two different girls. They kind of know each other
Yeah.
in the same house.
Yeah.
So and it started as a one-woman show because I don't have much money, I don't have big budget, so I want to keep it as simple as I could. So I write a one-woman show.
How on earth can it be a one-woman show? Did you play two roles, or were you
Yes.
narrator?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So how did it transition from, because I'm assuming you didn't expect this to become a film.
Never.
No, but how did that transition, because obviously it's been made now, but we'll get to that in a moment, but how did that transition occur?
It takes 12 years to go.
Right.
Yeah, because the play was first played at the stage in 2005, and then I keep rerunning it. So from time to time that I would do it, but in different scale.
Right.
At first it was in a French club studio with like 100 people in the audience. So eventually it became bigger and bigger, and finally I moved the play onto a lyric theater with over 1,000 audience.
Right, okay.
So the scale and the set and everything keep evolving.
And is it still remaining a one-woman play, or did
Yes.
you right? Okay, because I'm assuming at some point you could have easily turned it into a two-hander, but you kept it as a single person, or maybe that was the magic of it. I don't know.
I think that's part of the magic, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. And because of that, it also brought a lot of pressure onto me and our other actor, Chrissy, because I think Kieran's underselling herself here. It was a very, very, very successful show in Hong Kong, and it had collected a lot of very supportive fans over the years. And so for us to take on these roles, it was like, oh my God, how are we gonna surpass her performance, or even just like live up to it and just be okay and not disappoint the existing fans.
So I'm guessing that someone saw the play.
Yes.
And is this is it? How does it go from the play to the film?
It's interesting that because I also committed in the movie industry at the same time when I first write this play. I wrote another screenplay for a movie. It's called Isabella. So that was a very successful film. Also, it went to Berlin. So by that time, I started to know some people from the industry, and they came to see my play, and they suggested they loved the story, and they suggested that why shouldn't I put it into a movie?
So they originally wanted you to do Isabella as the movie.
No. I mean, I wrote the story of Isabella, and then I know more people who work in the movie industry, in the film industry. So they will come to watch my theater play, and they will say, why don't you put it into a movie? The story is so good, and they will persuade me to do so. But I think it's not the right time because I'm not ready to adapt the story into a movie. And after so many years, I think it finally becomes the time to do it.
So when it came to make the film, I guess you were willing to do it, but there was restrictions in place, which were as long as I can adapt it, as long as I can direct it, and you know what? I'm scared for the girl. She must have seen to get the, because of course she knows that it's her baby, isn't it? So the casting, you know, they've got to. It must have been a long process because it's yours. You know it inside out. You played the character. So, tell me about how you went about the casting and how long that took.
Actually, honestly, there are not many suitable choices in Hong Kong.
Really?
And I wanted someone who is at the age of 30, around 30, and because the personality of the two characters is very extreme. I need to find really suitable cast for the role, and I had the idea that I don't want to keep it as one actor playing two different roles.
No, because it might work for the stage, but it's always a bit tricky on screen, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's difficult to do so on screen.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I think it's so much more intimate on screen, right? So.
And also I think if you go to a play, you expect that because you know it's a one-woman show.
Yeah.
And I think this is my opinion. Doesn't mean anything, but I think if you're going to a cinema to see a film. It's almost like you're being cheated in a way. Does that make sense? Because you're projecting as a one-woman show on you. You could have done it, I'm sure, but I can see why you went for the proper two-hander. Is that the way to describe it? But anyway, sorry. Yeah.
And also, it encouraged me to read the story from a new angle.
Right.
If I split the two characters in two actors, so.
Oh, of course. So you had to there had to be a rewrite, didn't there? Because it's a different kind of medium, isn't it? Okay. So. Sorry, getting back to you're saying that it was very difficult to find the actress that you wanted.
Yes, and Chrissy, the other actress, and also Joyce is actually it's my only choice for the roles in my point of view because they have very extreme personalities on themselves. Like Joyce is she can play a happy girl because her smile, her laugh is so charming.
Thanks. It's one of my most hated
listen,
things for myself.
She didn't tell me that off camera, so.
That her laugh can really melt people's hearts. So that's why I think Joyce is and I know her for some time, not very long, but I think she can really act. So and she deserves a chance, an opportunity to have a really good, well-written role to play in the movie. And also Christy, Chrissy.
So of course you could do, I'm sure you thought about this, 39 plus 1, 49 plus 1, But you could, couldn't you?
I'm trying to
But you
persuade
could do
her.
that. So you could have like before sunrise, before sunset,
Exactly.
and also, yeah, so it's all moved on.
I don't know.
But genuinely, have you thought about doing that? Like and adding 10 years to the role.
39 plus 1?
49.
Doing another series? Or
Well,
Yeah,
we'll
add
film
10
it
years.
5 years
Add
later.
because a lot happens in 10 years, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't have plan now, but I don't know. Maybe at the right time and I'll do it. I don't know. And even now, I'm not sure if I will do another movie. It's my first one, and I'm not sure if I should do or if I have the chance to do the next one. So that's my own personality.
And why is it? Because just about every film ever that I've spoken to, I can't think of one that's said otherwise, has always said once they've done one, they want to do more. So that's quite unusual to hear you say that. Why would you not want to do another film?
I don't know if I'm qualified to do it. You know,
Really?
I'm serious.
Well, I think you are. And let me reveal a little secret about this woman over here. She's the most hardworking human being I've ever met in my life.
Is she a taskmaster?
She handles everything herself.
Right.
She wants to be hands-on with everything. And it's so refreshing to see someone give so much of themselves to a project, and it's very inspiring for me. And furthermore, I feel like for me, I'm actually a singer. It's my first time acting in a larger role in film, and I'm very grateful to have had this opportunity, because before in Hong Kong, I've only ever played cameos in films, and
Right.
they're usually like really extreme, like ha ha ha, like flirting with people and like being funny and stuff like that. And it was challenging, but it was a very, very good experience.
And how do you
for me.
feel when you've seen the film? Because presumably you're always comparing it to the play. It's natural, isn't it? So how do you feel about that when you compare the two? Are you obviously you're happy with the play? It went on for years. You must be very happy. But now comparing the film to the play, what's your overall feeling?
It's really a difficult challenge for a director. It's a long period of time, and your role is to solve the problems all the time. It gives us solution. So
Excuse me.
I hope I had tried my best, and now the movie comes out, and I could say to myself that I tried my best. No matter how many score it will take, it's the best I can do. I couldn't do it better. That's my limit. Then I have no regret. Even though if it's not good enough, that's my limit. That's my ability. So.
But I guess what I'm asking is, overall, a kind of a happiness level and as a percentage level, or out of 10, what would you give your own film?
The film.
Yeah, from your point of view.
I really don't want to score my own play or own baby. I would see it as 10 because I gave up 10
Yeah.
to it. So it's 10 in my own scale. Not in the social scale, maybe, I don't know, but it's 10. I do it wholeheartedly, and it's score 10 for me. And I'm sure if I got another chance to do another movie, maybe I would do it better, because I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah, of course.
experience. I know so much that I didn't know before. So that will be another 10 for me.
And what did you find, not difficult but hard? What was the hardest thing about actually putting a film together, or shooting, or the whole process? What did you find very?
It's the communications
Right.
with all the people. You know, compared to a theater productions at like not more than 20 people, but in a film, in a movie, that over 100 people coming to you, asking you questions, and
Probably continuously,
yes,
basically.
and they don't know you. The point is they don't know you. I've been training as a theater worker, and I work in theater all the time, that I don't know the practice of the movie industry. Well, I was lucky enough that I took part in some movie shooting before.
What do you mean? So this is quite interesting. What do you mean by that? So, for instance, would you, if you're in a theatre, for instance, because that's in essence your background, you've been working in that for a few years. If you would say to someone, "Look, this light's too high, put it down, job done."
Yeah.
But in the movie, if you said to someone, "Look, the light's too bright, bring it down," they might not quite understand the gig you're trying to get. Is that what you're sort of suggesting?
Yeah, maybe yes. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So whereas you get a very instant solution to the problem in the theatre, on the set, it's a different kettle of fish. Is that kind of where you're going?
Yes.
Right.
That's the challenge.
Right, and of course that's more time, more hassle, and you're probably
And people don't understand
Yeah.
what I'm talking about sometimes.
Yeah.
when you say what technically what you're talking about.
Technically.
Right.
Or even the creative issues that I want to do it, they don't understand. Or for example, the timeline of the story, how I put together with the two different timelines, the characters.
Yeah.
I remember we drew a chart. We printed out our own little timetable
Yeah.
of the
To
two
show the
characters.
timeline of the two characters.
Right. So this isn't a. We're not talking about. What are they calling? Not. What's the word I'm looking for? It'll come to me. Storyboarding. This isn't storyboarding.
No, not storyboarding. It's because the film, it parallels these two women's lives.
Right.
And so there's a lot of back and forth. And the entire film, actually, the timeline, it happens within 1 month.
Yes.
The entire story is over time, it's 1 month.
Right.
Leading up to their birthdays. Leading up to their 29+1 birthday. But there's a lot of back and forth, like maybe this happened before this happened after that. And so I think it was very difficult for everyone working on the production to get a grasp on that. Like they really needed to like dissect the script. But that was one great thing about working with Kieran, because she's worked with this story for 10+ years, she knows it back and forth. And
Do you mean 9+1 years?
Yeah.
9+1 years, that's
Sorry.
right. Thank you.
Sorry.
And because I've worked, most of the other films that I've worked in the Hong Kong industry, we don't ever get to see the full script. It's very interesting.
Right,
But,
okay.
but from day one, we were able to work with the script
So if you
in
don't
its entirety.
if you don't get to see the whole script, how can you build any kind of character? And
That's a good question. That's a very good question. It's not
because
easy.
you need to have
It's
you
a
need
very
to be fleshed
interesting
out. isn't it?
scenario in Hong Kong.
It's
the
a very
music
interesting industry.
And what do they work? What's the reason for that? Do you know?
Well, when you think about it, Hong Kong is one city. It's a very tiny city. That's the entire market as well.
Right.
Which means the entire budget for everything, even the music industry, everything is so low budget that everything needs to be fast. So a lot of the times when I was working on other films, I wouldn't get the script for that scene until I'd sat down for hair and makeup. And so that's, like you said, it makes it so hard to build any sort of character, to think about my backstory, or there's no time to practice or anything. But working with Kieran, maybe because she came from a theater background, even before we started shooting, Kieran created a lot of opportunities for us, for each actor to sit together, to get to know each other, to practice the scenes actually, and
do some exercise, the
yeah,
theater exercise.
I think that helps so much, especially for my character, because my character has a very good childhood friend in the film, and but in real life it was my first time meeting him ever, so it really helped to have those exercises and those ice-breaking sessions.
And are you? I know obviously you're promoting this film, but are you now back to working in theatre as well, or is it all about this? And what's? I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what's next? Yeah, what's next?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I really, I don't have plans. I'm not a person that like to plan a lot. I'm too lazy to plan. Sometimes I'm lazy and wait. Sometimes the opportunity comes, then I will do it.
Then you'll grab onto it.
Yeah. I definitely need to take a break after the movie.
After the promotion, the marketing, and everything that's going with it. Yeah.
Yes, because I've been working on it for over 1 year, more than 1 year, a year and a half maybe.
Yeah.
Non-stop. So I think I need to take a break and then to think about myself. And then I still miss the time acting on stage.
Yeah.
I would love to, but I think I will have another movie. I should have, because I should treasure the things I learned in the first movie, that I have to make good use of it, especially working with actors. I think this is my strongest part in my directorship. So I
What, to get the performance?
yes,
Yeah.
You kind of, yeah, okay.
Definitely.
And I suppose we touched on this earlier. Before you start, you've got the gig, you're going to make the film, so you've got a vision of how the filming's going to go, you hope. But of course, God plans, men plan and God laughs, because what I mean by that is you can plan all these things, but I assume the reality of making a film is a hell of a lot different than you imagined. Or maybe it isn't. I mean, that's the question. How different was the whole vision of what it would be like to make a film to the actual process itself? Is it possible to explain?
I think the post-production is a very interesting period. That I never imagined that I would do the part of editing, but at last I did it. So I sit down and then I watched every clip that we shot.
Right.
So I would see the
Well, every version of every shot, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I mean by that is you might shoot a scene from 4 different angles. So you literally watched every way you shot the film.
yes,
Right.
and,
Okay.
and all the errors that I made,
Yeah.
all the mistakes that I made, and I tried to cover it up or rearrange the story and re-edit the story and then to make it logical. And I think this is a very important period that I really learned, because I know how it could be, the possibilities of the story. So it could be somehow different from what I imagined when I was writing the script,
Yeah.
but I'm pleased with the change.
And I suppose the problem is you have a linear play that's meant to become a linear film. You already know exactly what the running order is because you've done the play for years. So if you're then making a film, you're coming to cut the film and trying to change things around suddenly, it's not the story you were telling for years. So how on earth is that going to work? That must have been a challenge.
I think it's still the same story. It's
Right.
still the same. I just how to put it in orders and to kick out something that I don't need them to be there. So this is the post-production that I will treasure, because I have to sit from another angle to look at the story again, and how to read it, how to make it like in a new way.
That's it.
That's
Perfect.
it.
Thank you.
However, experience, Joy's acting experience is also very, very interesting to know.
No, carry on. That's all right. Go on, Joyce. Yeah, tell me. Give your background.
My back.
Well,
My,
yeah.
my
What's the
back-
story?
What's the story?
Yeah.
What's the story?
What's your story? Because Joyce is very famous in Hong Kong because of her career and of course because of her mother, because her mother is a very, 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 very famous movie star, entertainer for so many years, and in Hong Kong, such a market, people, they would have preconceptions that you can do this, you cannot do that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So when people know that I'm gonna take Joyce as my leading actress in the film,
Yeah.
they were shocked, they were surprised, or say, "You are brave."
Why? I see. I'm seeing. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why?
Why?
Why? I don't know. There's this stigma in Hong Kong where second generation entertainers are not great.
No.
It's incredible. See, in the I'm sure you know this. Say in the West, say let's use Liza Minnelli as an example.
Yeah.
Her mother Judy Garland.
Yeah.
And of course, she's been in cabaret. No one's going to sort of think, well, she's a second round. She's bloody brilliant in that.
They
Exactly.
are more demanding to her.
Yeah.
Oh
Couldn't-
right. So you've got a shadow. Is it you got boots to fill? Is that
Pretty
what you've
much.
got? Right. Okay.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. Because my father is also a very established
Yeah.
actor, singer, entertainer in Asia as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
Were you always going to be in? I mean, it's interesting because did you ever think? I mean, I don't know what the culture is, but did you ever think? I don't want to be an entertainer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a physicist or something completely different. Because you would never have to worry about that challenge then.
You know, one thing about me is one thing that I find very similar to my character is that I could easily work at a cafe and just, you know, make lattes for people for the rest of my life, and that wouldn't bother me as long as.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that, exactly. Yeah. As long as, you know, it's my own hands. I'm doing it myself. But I was thrown under the spotlight at a very young age. And I figured since there's gonna be like paparazzi and all that bullshit following me around anyway, I may as well make money out of it and like make something good out of it. So I started doing TV sitcoms. And then after that, I launched my singing career, which actually
doing very well?
Was doing quite well last year. But no one really took me seriously as an actor.
And is that because of your the family legacy?
I think so. I think so. And also because I was never really given the opportunity to take on roles with more gravitas, you know? So, it's in Chinese, director, the direct translation is douyin, which means a guiding act. Like, it's someone who guides you how to act in the film. And so I feel like for me it was great, not only because of the script, not only because of the character, but also because I met a director who was able to really direct me in the right direction.
And one of the interesting point is her life. It's somehow echoes with her character, the Wang Tianlok in the movie, because these two girls, I mean Joyce, this Joyce and that Joyce, they are out of the social expectations. They are living a life like the way they want to. And for many people, they will say, you shouldn't be like this, you could not be like this, how could you not be like this? So that's also one of my issues in the story, that we have to live out our own life. The social expectation or the standards. Yeah. So I'm happy to have her in the film.
And what's very interesting actually, this week, all the festivals, this week, I really picked up on is how many female directors and filmmakers there are.
That's awesome.
No, genuinely. I mean, I've interviewed so many women this week who are actors and actresses, but behind the camera, any number. And the one before you, Jacqueline, female producer, director, writer. You know, it's loads. And why it's fascinating is because I don't know what the stat is, but I do know there's a lot more men that are directors, for for example, or producers. But when you see the split down, or the amount of women filmmakers we see, it's got to be at least half that are coming through. It's got to be. I would suggest half the films that we're getting that are in competition, whether documentaries or drama, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if it's half of them are women, because honestly, the split I see, the amount of. I know that I've interviewed more women this week than men, and that's just because there's no reason for that, other than the fact that there are lots of women that are filmmakers. But that's not reflected in the media per se, is it? I mean, I know in the UK, whether it's TV or film, the men outnumber the women. And I dare say it's the same in Hong Kong. I know it's certainly the same in the US, and I know things are changing slowly, but can you talk to me about that? What it's like as a female director in Hong Kong? I mean, what kind of, if you encountered, no, it's a genuine question, you know, the kind of barriers, did you have any barriers? Does that make sense? I'd like to see if things are changing for you.
You should share what you saw in the location, on the shooting location.
I mean, obviously that extends to you.
Yeah.
It's both of you, the question's both of
Well,
you.
I definitely saw that it was more difficult for a female director on set. I feel like when...
because they weren't taken as seriously, or...?
I feel like when Kieran would stand firm with her decisions, people would view it as, oh, she's so annoying. Or does she even know what she's doing?
Right.
Especially I'm a new director.
Yeah, whereas if it was a dude, I don't think there'd be such an issue. And And even now that we're showing in theaters in Hong Kong, a lot of people who haven't seen the film, they're like, "Oh, it's a movie for women. Oh, it's a chick
It's
flick."
a chick flick, yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's really for anyone who's ever had any life experiences in their lives. It's that relatable. Yeah. So, I mean, there's still this. There's a certain connotation towards women-led films in Hong Kong, I feel like.
And Kieran, what do you think?
Yeah.
It's not easy to work with a big group of men during the process because 90% or 95% are men.
Yeah.
And as a director, they have to listen to me.
Well, you're calling the shots. Let's be honest. You have to call the shots, don't you?
Yes, and many of them, they are experienced filmmakers and like different positions. They are very experienced.
Yeah.
So, but I don't actually. At that time, I was just trying to convince them what I want. They saw my difficulties, but actually, I don't feel it at all. Because maybe I'm too stubborn to see what I want to see. But they saw the difficulties, like how to convince them or how to make them feel good on site.
I just feel like you shouldn't need to convince them because you're the director.
Or,
That's what you want.
Or the more resistance you get, the stronger you're going to be.
I don't know. It's difficult.
It's
It
tough.
really
But
is
it would be
difficult.
easier, I think, because now they know what my taste or my work as the movie is out now, it's finished now, and they can see the end result.
Yeah.
So they will know what I was trying to do that do have sense to do it like that.
Yeah.
So I think I will be easier to work with them.
That is it. So thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you so
very
much.
much. Thank you.
They went way on too long.
介唔介話俾大家知你今年幾多歲啊？我叫做林若君，今年29歲。
Christy 將會成為 La Casa 新嘅 Regional Marketing Director。
好緊要，因為我想揾多啲錢咋。
你要求咁高咧，我諗我有都唔會 ready。女人年紀越大，條件就越少㗎啦，條 curve 一路咁鏟落去。
我叫做黃天樂啊！
黃天樂
嚇？
做咩啊？
我哋識咗幾耐啊？
7歲識到而家，你話幾耐？
咁我哋係咪好朋友啊？
好老土啊你！
我哋好耐都未試過咁低能傾偈啦。
咁你講咪自己講咯。
張文明啊，不如我哋做愛啦。
Roses are red and my sky is gray.
你有冇試過覺得自己咩都冇啊？
你一個人嘅時候，其實會做啲咩㗎？
Send my message into outer space. Shooting stars.
如果生命可以俾你再揀一次，你會想喺幾時再開始過啊？